Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach, and it's Real Talk Wednesday. Have you ever had your kids with you? Let's say you got 10, 12 kids, whatever, and half of you go to, say, we're going to go to McDonald's. Everybody gets McDonald's. And then the other half says, I hate McDonald's. McDonald's is nasty. I don't want McDonald's. All right? And so versus saying, hey, too bad, you say, well, baby, what do you want to eat? Well, I like a Burger King. What do? You go to McDonald's and you buy half of them McDonald's, and because the other don't like McDonald's, you go to Burger King. Even though Burger King's 5 miles away, you do it anyway because you want your little child to be happy. Back in my day, Mama would have said this: either eat it or don't. You can starve. I do not care. But now that is child abuse, and somebody would call the CPS on you and say you're neglecting your child because you made him eat McDonald's. I'm sorry, I found that funny. But truth, right? Isn't that how it used to be? Aren't we in a society of entitlement that we just always, the glass is half empty, always half empty? Man, we don't have a thankful attitude in this day and time. True. It's real talk for a reason. And so things have really changed. I mean, look how many times we changed the iPhone. You know, iPhone 7's out, then 8 and 9 and 10, and every time you got to upgrade. And if you can do that, I think it's great. Okay? But there comes a point that in some situations we got to find perspective. And that's what we're talking about today. Fast story. When I hit rock bottom, I could not be alone. If you can imagine, I could not be alone with my boys for a year. I couldn't walk in the park. I had to be supervised at all times. I couldn't go to the park, couldn't go to the mall, and I couldn't drive them. I'm going to tell you, just the little things we take for granted. The little things we take for granted, and that is that time with your kids, that alone time with your kids. But there was a time that my younger son had gone to baseball practice, and it wasn't my time to see them, so I couldn't even approach him, but it was cold, and everyone at baseball had a jacket except for my son, and my heart was breaking. My heart was breaking. So I called my sponsor, and I said, dude, man, I feel like the worst parent in the world, man. My kid's over there, and I can't even help him. And he quickly said this: dude, at least he's got some clothes to wear. At least he's got shoes on his feet. At least somebody cared enough to get your kid to baseball practice. He told me that real quick. What he was saying is this: man, Rick, you got to find some perspective. And that's essentially what we're talking about today. In all situations, we've got to be thankful, even when it seems impossible. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16, and it says this: rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. In the midst of a storm, in the eye of a storm, you have got to find perspective. Okay? You got to find that silver lining. You've got to, a lot of times, dig deep and find perspective. Like me, unless it was pointed out to me, at least it was pointed out to me, that I had to find perspective. Because think of this: maybe your house is not as big as you want it to be, but at least you got a house. Maybe it's not a Lexus, but at least you got a car to drive. All right? Maybe it's not filet mignon, but at least you got food on the table. Maybe you can't go to Six Flags, but at least you're together. I'm going to tell you something right now. I would have lived in a teepee to have my family back. Real talk, truth, a teepee. It didn't matter how big my house was. Honestly. I don't know, and I hear this all the time. People disgruntled, I hate my job, but at least you got a job. I mean, I get it. I get it. I promise you. And so today I pray this, that God gives you that attitude of gratitude, that you can look and you can be thankful in the circumstance, that your eyes be open. I'm going to be going to McDonald's later, and if you would like to go with me, you're more than welcome. But if you hate McDonald's, too bad. Have a great day.